Howdy, finance enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of Finantax Clip, your go-to channel for all things finance. We're thrilled to have you with us. If you're new around here, we invite you to become a part of our growing community. Just hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share our videos. We assure you, it's a click worth making. Today, we're rolling up our sleeves to tackle a topic that's been buzzing in the financial sphere: the decline of the dollar and its impact on America's financial supremacy. Yes, you heard it right. We're going to discuss the once mighty dollar, its historical progression, and the challenges it's currently facing. We encourage you to engage with us, share your thoughts, and join the conversation. So get ready to embark on this financial journey with us. Stick around as we take a deep dive into the historical progression of the dollar's decline. To understand the decline, we must first appreciate the rise. The dollar didn't just magically become the world's leading currency. The story of the dollar's ascent to global supremacy is a captivating tale of economic strategy and geopolitical maneuvering. It's the late 1940s, World War II has just ended, and the world is in shambles. Countries are devastated, their economies crippled. In this chaos, the United States emerges as the world's leading economic power. The dollar is strong, backed by the largest gold reserves in the world. In 1944, representatives from 44 nations gather in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. Their goal? To create a new financial order, a system to stabilize the global economy and prevent future wars. The outcome of this conference is the Bretton Woods Agreement, a landmark in monetary history. The dollar is established as the world's reserve currency, pegged to gold, while other currencies are pegged to the dollar. This gives the United States unprecedented economic power. The dollar becomes a symbol of stability and trust. It is the currency that nations turn to in times of crisis, the currency that underpins global trade. The Bretton Woods system, however, wasn't without its flaws. It relied heavily on the US's ability to maintain the dollar's value relative to gold. But as the economy grew and international trade expanded, the number of dollars in circulation began to far exceed the US's gold reserves. This imbalance eventually led to the collapse of the Bretton Woods system in the early 70s. But not before the dollar had firmly established itself as the world's dominant currency. The golden age of the dollar had begun. It was a time when the dollar reigned supreme, its value rock solid, its dominance unchallenged. It was the currency everyone wanted, the currency everyone needed. But as we know, what goes up must come down. The first signs of trouble appeared in the late 20th century. Our journey through the annals of financial history brings us to a pivotal moment in 1971. The world watched with bated breath as the then US President Richard Nixon announced a series of economic measures that would forever change the landscape of global finance. This, my friends, was the Nixon shock. Up until this point, the dollar was as good as gold. Literally, for every dollar bill out there, there was a specific weight of gold kept snug in the vaults of the US Treasury. This was the gold standard, a system where the value of a currency was directly linked to gold. It was a reassuring promise that your hard-earned dollars weren't just fancy pieces of paper but had real tangible value. But the Nixon shock put an end to that. It severed the dollar's convertibility into gold, effectively making the dollar a fiat currency. Now, what does that mean? Fiat money is currency that a government has declared to be legal tender, but it's not backed by a physical commodity. The value of fiat money is derived from the relationship between supply and demand and the stability of the issuing government, rather than the value of a commodity backing it. Now, this was a big deal. It was like Superman deciding he didn't need his cape anymore. The dollar was now free to fly or fall based on the economic winds. The world, used to the safety net of gold, was suddenly thrust into uncharted territories. The Nixon shock sent ripples across the globe. It sparked intense debates and discussions. Economists, politicians, and financial enthusiasts began to question the dollar's supremacy. Could the dollar, now unlinked from gold, continue to command the same respect? Would it be able to uphold its position as the world's primary reserve currency? The dollar's supremacy was starting to be questioned. This was the first crack in the armor, the first sign of vulnerability, but as we'll see, it was just the beginning of a long, winding road. As we entered the new millennium, the dollar faced many tests. The first decade of the 21st century was a roller coaster ride for the dollar, much like the exhilarating highs and terrifying lows of an amusement park attraction. The ride began with an upward climb as the dollar flexed its muscles on the global stage. But then, in 2008, the financial crisis hit. It was a sharp drop for the dollar, akin to the stomach-churning descent of a roller coaster. Banks collapsed, stock markets plummeted, and the dollar, once a symbol of financial stability, began to wobble. The US government responded with bailouts and stimulus packages, pumping trillions of dollars into the economy to stave off a complete collapse. But this short-term fix came with long-term consequences. The national debt ballooned, reaching unprecedented levels. This was akin to the roller coaster car being hauled up another steep incline, only to prepare for another inevitable plunge. As the economy slowly recovered, another challenge loomed on the horizon: the COVID-19 pandemic, a global health crisis that brought the world to a standstill in 2020. The economic impact was immediate and severe. Businesses shuttered, unemployment soared, and once again the government responded by injecting trillions of dollars into the economy. This process, known as quantitative easing, saw the Federal Reserve buying up government bonds to increase the money supply. However, the increase in money supply caused by quantitative easing has a downside. It can lead to inflation, where the value of the dollar decreases as the prices of goods and services increase. So while it may seem like a good idea to pump money into the economy to stimulate growth, it's a bit like trying to push the roller coaster car up the track manually. The combination of increasing debt and quantitative easing has left many questioning the dollar's stability. It's like being on a roller coaster that's been looping and spinning for too long. The riders, in this case the global investors, are starting to feel dizzy. They're beginning to look for other rides, other currencies that might offer a smoother, more predictable experience. So while the dollar has held its own on this roller coaster ride, it's clear that the journey has been far from smooth. The ups and downs of the last 2 decades have tested the strength and resilience of the dollar, but more than that, they have tested the faith of those who depend on it, those who invest in it, and those who look to it as a global standard of value. These events have further shaken confidence in the dollar, and as we prepare for the next drop, the next twist, the next turn on this roller coaster ride, we have to ask ourselves, how much longer can the dollar hold on, and what will happen if it lets go? While the dollar is grappling with internal issues, other currencies are vying for the top spot. As we navigate the tumultuous seas of global finance, we find ourselves amid a storm of contenders, each seeking to challenge the dollar's long-standing dominion. Firstly, let's turn our attention towards the euro. Born out of a desire for European unity, the euro has grown steadily in stature since its inception at the turn of the millennium. Its growth has been bolstered by the economic prowess of nations such as Germany and France, and its stability has been underpinned by the European Central Bank's stringent fiscal policies. However, the euro's rise hasn't been without its challenges, with economic disparities among member nations often stirring the waters. Moving eastward, we encounter the renminbi, the currency of the world's second-largest economy, China. The renminbi's ascension has been nothing short of meteoric, mirroring the country's rapid economic growth. China's strategic initiatives, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, aim to extend its economic influence globally, thus strengthening the renminbi's position. However, concerns about transparency and regulatory practices cast a shadow over the renminbi's quest for supremacy. Then we have the new kids on the block, the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and their digital siblings represent a radical departure from traditional currency models. They offer a decentralized, borderless, and potentially more democratic alternative to state-issued currencies. But their volatility, regulatory challenges, and the question of mass acceptance make their path to supremacy a steep climb. In this grand chessboard of global finance, the dollar, the euro, the renminbi, and cryptocurrencies are the major players. Each has its strengths and weaknesses, each carries its unique set of challenges, and each offers a different vision of the future. The stakes are high and the game is on. The race for financial supremacy is heating up. So as we continue to watch this fascinating contest unfold, one thing is certain: the world of finance as we know it is in for some exciting times. So, where does this leave the dollar? As we look ahead, the future of the dollar appears to be at a crossroads. There are several potential scenarios that could unfold, each with its own set of implications for the United States and the global economy. On one hand, the dollar could maintain its status as the world's reserve currency. This scenario is plausible given the dollar's historical resilience and the deep and liquid financial markets of the United States. The country's robust legal framework, political stability, and the sheer size of its economy make the dollar a safe haven for investors, particularly in times of economic uncertainty. However, the dollar's dominance is by no means guaranteed. The cracks in the armor we discussed earlier might widen, leading to a loss of confidence in the dollar. This could be triggered by various factors, such as a major economic crisis, a sharp rise in inflation, or a significant increase in the U.S. government's debt. If the dollar were to lose its reserve currency status, the implications for the U.S. and the global economy would be profound. There's also a third scenario, one in which the dollar is gradually replaced by a basket of currencies or even a digital currency. This may seem far-fetched, but the rise of cryptocurrencies and the efforts by some countries to de-dollarize their economies suggest that this is a possibility we cannot ignore. In any case, the future of the dollar will be shaped by a complex interplay of economic, political, and technological factors. It's a high-stakes game, and the outcome will have far-reaching implications for global financial markets and the balance of power in the world economy. Only time will tell the fate of the dollar. But one thing is certain, the coming years will be a critical period in the history of this once unassailable currency. As the tides of change sweep across the global financial landscape, the dollar's journey is sure to be a fascinating one. We've taken quite the financial journey today, haven't we? We've traced the path of the dollar from its golden age, through its fluctuating fortunes, to the present day, where it stands on somewhat shaky ground. In our discussion, we began by taking you back to the golden age of the dollar. We spoke about how it was once a beacon of stability, a currency that reigned supreme in the global market. It was a period of prosperity that cemented America's position as a financial powerhouse. However, as we know, nothing remains constant. We delved into the cracks that began to appear in the armor of the dollar. We explored some of the challenges it faced, from economic crises to political upheavals. The narrative of the dollar has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. It's been through ups and downs, highs and lows. Amidst global market fluctuations, economic downturns, and periods of recovery, the dollar's journey has mirrored the many complexities of our financial system. We then shifted our focus to the emerging contenders on the global stage. As we live in an increasingly interconnected world, the rise of other currencies cannot be overlooked. The euro, the yuan, and others are jostling for space in a market that was once dominated by the dollar. In our penultimate discussion, we dared to look into the future. It's a future that's uncertain, filled with possibilities and potential pitfalls. Will the dollar continue to hold its ground, or will it be dethroned? This journey has not been about undermining the dollar or predicting its demise. Instead, it's been about understanding its trajectory, its strengths, and its weaknesses. It's been about recognizing the shifts in the global financial landscape and what they mean for the future of the dollar. Ultimately, the dollar story is a reflection of our own financial journeys. It's a testament to the fact that financial supremacy is not a given, but something that needs to be earned and maintained. It's a reminder that in the world of finance, as in life, change is the only constant. So as we wrap up, let's carry forward the lessons we've learned from the dollar's journey. Let's stay informed, adaptable, and prepared for whatever the financial world throws our way. Thank you for joining us on Finantax Clip. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more financial insights. Until next time, stay financially savvy.